this is V here from Tokyo, Japan. As always, it's getting to spring as I start to see more sakura flowers blooming very soon, and all the buds, all the pink, which I really like. March is considered as the Sotsugyou Kikan. It's the period where students graduate. Here I am with a very fresh vlog, and here I am to announce in 2021 March I've graduated from Seiyuu Tokyo Announce Gakuin under Seiyuu, which is I've graduated from Tokyo Announce Gakuin in Tokyo, Japan under Seiyuu, which is the voice acting department. Yay! All this hard work for 2 years, even though I don't know, Seiyuu, which is technical school, we have long holidays, so I think the period I really go to school is like 1.5 years. But anyway, I've graduated! This is my very first graduation in Japan. Well, I've graduated from university, but I've never joined a real graduation ceremony. So this is the first one, and I'm so lucky that it's in Japan. Yay! So in this video, I'll talk about my whole 2 years journey of being in a Seiyuu school, being a student in Japan. I will talk about all the hard work, although I don't really think I worked that hard because, well, me being busy is still lazy. And I'll also be talking about what I've received today, because I didn't only receive my graduation certificate, but I also received some gifts. I'll also be talking about my whole journey, even slightly before school really started, because to enter the school I need to do like some school searching and then tests and all those. I wonder how long this video will be, because unexpectedly I took almost half hour of just planning what I'm going to do. I think this is my very first pretty personal kind of vlog, because I don't really like to talk about my personal life. I don't know, I still have the old thinking of like an idol or a persona is someone who lives in a dream world, because idol give their fans dream. But at the same time, I think that's why I'm not really a good influencer, because people nowadays actually prefer something that's more relatable. I still don't like to really talk about my personal life. So I'm not sure how much personal part of me that will be shown in this video. At the same time, because my school is a media school, it's not only Seiyuu to be, but there are also like announcer to be, there are also actress or actors to be, and also dancers to be. Our school actually care a lot about sharing stuff in SNS as well, so I'll be careful as well. Alright, so I'll start with what made me go into this school, or like the whole process. I actually started thinking of going to Japan to study in 2018. Actually, it's my dad who said like, why don't you go to Japan to study since you have time? And well, I'm just doing SNS kind of thing. That was around February, but since I know that schools in Japan start in April, I told my parents that, you know, I will need to wait until 2019 until I can really enter a school. It was also good because during that time, I already had a plan to visit Japan for traveling. During that time, I decided to start looking for which school I want to go. I went to 2 schools. A lot of the Seiyuu, or I think the normal schools here as well, do this one event that's called as Open Campus. In English, it's Open Campus, just like in katakana you put it as open instead of open. During the Open Campus, you can go to the school, talk to the staff, as well as you get to try one lesson. So I went to 2 schools. One is Yoani, Yoyogi Animation School, and the other school, I don't really remember the name, but it's at Nishikasai. Yoani, I think I learned how to read a script kind of thing. I actually like the Nishikasai one. I actually tried out the real, we call it as satirical, which is like you have the script and then you have the video and then you sound the video. I don't remember what anime was being shown that time, but well, that was just fun. I ended up not going to neither of these schools because in Yoani, since Seiyuu as an occupation is not really secure, thus it's not easy for foreigners to get a working visa, so they don't really provide Seiyuu lesson for foreigners. While Nishikasai, it's just far. So So my very first open campus experience were in April 2018. Then I started talking to this school in Medan, a Japanese teaching school that I know have been sending students to Japan. I asked like any suggestion of how I should be doing from here. The sensei said like, why don't you go there for 3 months under Japanese language school? Although you don't need any qualifications from here anymore, just take the 3 months to really decide. I ended up going in October, November, December. Use these 3 months to really decide, am I okay to stay in Japan? Because it's different with traveling, definitely. Second is of course to choose where you want to study. Third is to do all the paperwork, registration and all those. And also to really find a place where you will start staying in 2019 April. In 2019 April. So that's what I did. I went to check out like 3 more or 4 more schools. I ended up choosing between 2 schools. First one is Tokyo Seiyuu Academy. It's at Ebisu. The second school is Tokyo Announce Gakuin, which is the one that I ended up going. There was actually another school. The reason why I have this third school is because that school doesn't have any entrance test at all. I ended up going to Tokyo Announce Gakuin, and I actually decided without going to the open campus, which is a big wonder, right? Because I also went to Nishikasai once again for the open campus, just too far. I chose Tokyo Announce Gakuin because when I went there to talk to the staff, one of the staff told me, here we actually teach higher level Japanese. And that actually attracted me. I think I was a baka. Why was I super confident about my Japanese? Because at the end, 難しかった. It was really, really difficult. So they have written tests as well as interview. Well, I passed my entrance test. During this period, I was into this anime, or to be exact, the real live action version of Sowa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. For me to practice like my tongue, I actually used Zugemu. I wonder if I still remember it. Zugemu Goko no Surikire. 覚えてないわ. I don't remember it anymore.
ズゲムごこのすりきれい開在水量の水行松カイザリズゲムごこのすりきれい開在水行の水行松うんらい松ふらい松くねるところにズゲムごこのすりきれい開在水行の水行松うんらい松ふらい松くねるところに住むところやブラコージのブラコージパイポのスリンガンのグリンダイのポンポコピのポンポコナの東京名のトースケ
Alright, so that was how I ended up going to Tokyo Announce Gakuin. Did the test, and then I went to find a place to stay. And then I went back to Indonesia. I stayed in Medan for 3 months. And I'm back in Tokyo to really become a student. School starts in April. We have our entrance ceremony. It was my very first entrance ceremony as well. For the graduation ceremony, a lot of the girls wear hakama. But for the entrance ceremony, everyone mostly just wear blazer, just wear suits. I just wear blazer because I like to wear blazer. It was a very normal ceremony. Some higher up principal talk. We received video message from people who graduated from our school. For Tokyo Announce Gakuin, or more like one of the reasons why I picked some schools is of course I see who graduated. Well, I'm a Seiyuu fan. Tokyo Announce Gakuin, one of the graduated students is Terashima Takuma, and he gave us a message. Other students who graduated, Hoshi Seiichiro-san, I don't really remember anymore. At the end, they don't really matter. Alright, so entrance ceremony done. 3 days right after that, we have this thing that's called as green guidance. All the first year students actually go on a 2 days 1 night trip. I didn't really enjoy that because I'm in a room with 6 other girls. We are classmates, but well, there are people that I don't know. Well, it was still a fun experience since there's onsen, good food. I think we paid for it, but I don't really remember paying for it. There, we actually get to talk with some of our senpai. We also decide what extra classes we want to take. Because I was still young and naive, I wanted to take like 10 extra lessons. But then my senpai is like, are you sure? First, we're foreigners. Second, let's aim at surviving or adapting first before really putting so much extra lessons. And later on, I realized that that's right. As I said just now, I stayed in a room with like 7 other girls that I've never met before. There were some ice-breaking games, but I'm actually very bad with strangers unless I have a certain aim. I'm talking about my bad personality right now, okay? I'm very bad at thinking of topic to talk. They are also so young. They are so full of energy. Well, I'm like, oh, I gave up, man. I actually slept the earliest and I woke up the latest because I don't really want to talk to anyone. So the first day of Green Gardens was just held in the hotel. And then the second day, we actually went to this farming area. There we watched duck run. I don't know, it's a sheepdog show. Well, we had barbecue! That was good! I just enjoy food. School for me only really started like late April, second half of April. As a first year student, for our first term, the definitely need to learn are voice articulation, which I'm very bad at because I really need to fix my intonation, my accent. Second one is haseyatsumo, where we actually learn like you breathe from here and then that's how you shout out the word, something like that. Third one is voice training, which I really enjoy because it's singing. あの地平線輝くのはどこかに君を隠しているから Fourth is dance. And I think when I started to attend voice articulation class, that's when I already gave up being a Seiyuu because there's so much to fix about me. Of course, intonation and accent. It is actually also tongue because as we speak, tongue is the muscle that moves the most. Japanese not being my mother tongue, she and C. And then my R trembles actually move a lot. While for Japanese, they don't roll their tongue that much. Those two are my main problem when it comes to my tongue. This is the textbook we use for voice articulation. Of course, it's fully Japanese. This is how scripts are also written, all going down. For voice articulation, we actually read this tongue movement is being advised as well as our intonation. Not just Seiyuu, but every performer should really memorize in Japan. Is this thing that's called as rirori. Memorize! I gave up. 拙者親方と申すはお立ち会いのうちにご存知の方もござりましょうが、お江戸を立って2000里上方蘇州小田原石木町をお過ぎなされて青門町を乗りお入れなさるれば欄干橋虎屋戸右衛門ただいまは停発いたして遠斎と名乗りまする元朝より大津ごもりまでお手に入れまするこの薬は昔陳の国の東人ウィーローという人我が町べきたり 2 years in this school, I just realized one thing. I'm very bad at self-practice, at self-studying. That's why I'm not suitable for this. Just now I mentioned about lessons that I can pick. During my first year, during first term, I actually ended up picking 5 lessons. I think I actually pick up like 8 lessons, but there's like number of students limit for these lessons. I ended up only getting 5. First is relaxation. I enjoyed this class a lot because we actually learn how to stretch. Because at the end, you need a very relaxed body to really be able to not really shout out, to really bring out your voice. Well, if you're all nervous and all that, definitely you're not giving your full performance. Next one is Nihongo Kaiwa, mainly for ryugakusei. Third one is Dorama Reading. I really love this lesson as well because I really love the teacher. She really gives lots of life advice. Fourth one, ballet. I just enjoy that. Fifth one is this lesson called as tate. Tate is actually using a wooden sword we actually learn. It's Like if we watch something like Token Rambu musical, I didn't enjoy tate the most because it's a lot of physical work. So tate is actually one lesson that I regret taking. So in May we have Goroden Week, and then we actually have a sports festival, which I'm bad at. Again, I'm very bad at teamwork. I ended up going, I came here kind of form, and I actually left without participating in it at all. And then in June we have another 1 night 2 days kind of gashuku, and this is just my class. That one was actually more fun than the green guidance because of course I know them better already, but I'm still a loner. I sit alone in the bus and then, well, I don't talk much. That's it. So we practice what we learn in class. And in July, I had my very first in-school audition. Every year, my school have this thing that's called as Seitan audition. Any student can join it. It was also my very first time experiencing taking audition picture. I actually did the audition for being a Seiyuu. We were given this one piece of paper. First, there's narration, and then second, there's a line. For the line, they give us like 3 or 4 lines, and then we must pick one. We are given 1.5 minutes, 1 minute 30 seconds. The first 30 seconds, it's usually Jiko PR, which is our self-introduction. はじめまして。と申します。インドネシアでコスプレや歌手活動をやってきました。I can speak English. 我会讲中文。Saya bisa berbicara bahasa Indonesia. 日本語はもちろん、タイ語も勉強中です。趣味や興味はアニメ、歌、ダンス、ファッション、食い物と旅行です。毎日の目標は今、なおを楽しむことです。よろしくお願いします。And so I did that, and of course I didn't pass because it's in school. So the first round by 3 teachers that is in our school, and I actually got advice. 多言語を使えていいですね。日本語のイントネーション頑張りましょう。顔の横の髪は耳にかけて。That time I was into himekato ponytail, but I had here, and I guess one of the teachers didn't really like it. 表情力を磨こう refers to the reading the script, because during that period as a first year student we didn't do much script reading yet. 言学いいね Good studying of language. セリフはいいがナレーションも少し Oh, so my reading of script was good, but I need to work more on my narration, which is my intonation and accent. わかる I still stumble with English narration anyway.